Hey, it's Ben here from the Strength Factory. Today I'm going to talk to you about how you can stay safe when you're out riding and training in the winter months. We all know that mountain biking can be dangerous, and I guess that's why it's so exciting and why we love it. And whilst in the winter, in general, I'd say less people get hurt because it's a bit softer and you slide instead of just stopping when you hit the floor. The bottom line is that every year, loads of you, hopefully not me, are going to get hurt riding this winter. And how well prepared you are is going to determine what that experience is like and whether it even becomes a life-threatening situation. Now, I'm not being over dramatic here, but today I'm here on my own in the Mendip Hills. It's December, it's about 8 degrees Celsius. It's going to be dark in 2 hours, well, probably even less. And if I fall off now and get in a position where I can't move, I'm in trouble. Regardless of a broken leg or collarbone or banging my head, it's the cold and the wet that are the real threat to my safety, basically, and potentially, again, without being crazy here, potentially lethal, okay, if you can't get yourself out of that situation. So I want to talk you through a few things that are going to help to keep you safe this winter, whether you're riding on your own like I am today, or whether you're out with some mates on the trails. Number one, it's real simple. Just check that weather forecast. You know, get an idea of what's happening so you can dress and pack accordingly. It's common sense. If you're going to go walking in the mountains or the hills, you should do that as well. So why not on the mountain bike, especially if you're on an e-bike that can get you even further away from home in a shorter amount of time. Tip 2 is tell someone where you're going. So today, it's a Friday today, it's a work day. So I have sent a WhatsApp to my wife. She knows like roughly the areas that I ride, and I've told her that I'm going to be out for a couple of hours on Rowbarrow Warren. I'm going to be home in time for the school run, and she's going to know if I'm not then that she can pick up the phone and give me a call, okay, or raise the alarm if I don't come home and she can't raise me. So you've got to tell someone where you are. If you live on your own, use a mate. Have a buddy system going where you and a friend tell each other what you're doing. The same goes if you're going out for a group ride or going out as two of you. Just because there's two of you doesn't mean you're automatically safe. One of you gets hurt, the other one can't get phone signal. It's still good to let people know where you're going and when you're going to be back and what to do if you don't. Now we're going to have a look at the things that you can carry to help keep you safe and give you the best chances if something bad happens. And the first thing I'll say is, in the winter, I don't care how cool it is to store stuff on your bike and to just ride in a jersey, you've got to run a pack in the winter. Otherwise you really are taking some chances, okay? So what's in my pack? Okay, first of all, dry base layer. If you end up having to sit or lie on the floor waiting for help for some period of time, if you've been sweaty or if it's been raining, then getting a dry layer against your skin is a game changer. Number 2, head torch or some sort of torch, but head torch really is the best option. Now let's say I have, even if it's a mechanical and I don't fall off, you know, it's dark in a couple of hours, and yes, I've got my phone torch, but really it's better to be saving that battery for phoning for help if I need to, rather than using it all up, and especially as they run out quickly in the cold. So a head torch can also signal for help, as well as helping you fix a mechanical or get yourself out of a bad situation. Next of all, got a couple of bits here. So this is just a really thin little merino wool sort of beanie hat that fits under a helmet, or you can just put on, and a buff as well, so I can just keep my head and neck area warm, get my face out of the wind if I need to. I've also got a little snack bar. I had 2, ate one already, goes without saying. Right, in here, this is one of the most important bits of kit, like a good quality waterproof jacket. This one is super light and packable from Royal Racing. Like, it's literally so small, there's no excuse not to carry it. I'll make sure I put a link in the description so you can check that one out. And the other thing I've got here, I mean, today I'm on the e-bike and I don't have my tools on it yet, so I've got my my pump, puncture kit, all my Allen keys, all that stuff. I can fix pretty much anything I want on the trails. Now, the last thing I've got in here, which is something, I'll be honest, I've been really slack on for years, but I've had a chat with myself. First aid kit. So I've got, this is my main little first aid kit. I made it up myself. It's really simple. I've got some tape. I've got a little tick thing here. The ticks love me in the spring and summer. Some gloves, some wipes, some plasters, some wound dressings, and that's about it. I've also got, that's a tourniquet left over from Afghanistan. Never had to use it, luckily. Hopefully never will. But you know what? Probably weighs 50 grams, so why not chuck it in there? And then this is a really handy bit of kit. This is like a flexible splint, basically. So really good. So if someone does a wrist or something, you can use the tape and you can splint them. Having said all of that kit, well, it's like bikes, isn't it? You can have the best bike, but if you ride like shit, you're still not going very fast. Same with this. The most important thing is actually knowledge and knowing what to do and knowing how to use it. So tying in with the first aid kit is get yourself on a first aid course, or at the very least, get yourself on YouTube. And I'm sure that there's a world of useful information out there.
The next thing I want to talk about is a really amazing and free app for your phone called What 3 Words. And basically what they've done is they've broken down the whole world literally into tiny little squares, each one represented by 3 unique words. So for instance, where I'm stood doing this video, up here on the Mendips, the 3 words that describe where I am are forge, dive, possibly. Negating the need to remember trail names or trying to describe where you are, you can literally tell the emergency services, tell friends, tell families exactly where you are anywhere in the world. So I could also let people know that the access point for this would be at Regretted Explores Troll, therefore helping the emergency services and speeding up my own rescue.
If you don't take anything else from this, because it's pretty simple, it's straightforward, go outside or on your next ride, lie on the floor for 2 hours, see what happens. I bet you're cold and you're wet. Hypothermia could even be an issue. You might think you're tough going out riding in your short sleeves and not carrying anything, but if something happens, maybe you got a spinal, your friends don't want to move you, well, we're in a pretty sticky situation here, okay? At the end of the day, you need to be prepared, either individually or as a group, that you might have to be immobile, in the winter, in the wet, on the floor for a couple of hours. Simple as that.